Good morning, beautiful people. Happy Wednesday. Yay. Hopefully, you are well. I hope you're doing wonderful. It was raining earlier, and now it's clear. So I'm leaving the windows open. Hopefully, the weather will cooperate and everything will be good. But good morning. Hi, everybody. I'm going to turn myself down just a little bit because I feel like last time I was a little hot. So please let me know if you can still hear me. I hope you can. Either way, today we're going to talk about perfectionism and how perfectionism is ruining all the fun. It's sucking the life out of our joyful experiences. It's sucking the life out of our hobbies, out of the things that we love, because we're too worried about carrying the weight of being perfect. So, welcome. I hope that you're doing well. Let's get started. So, okay, hi. Yay. Thank you. Thank you, baby. And thank you, baby, for the water. I appreciate you. Okay, awesome. You can hear me. Hey, K-Bell. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Olivia Bree. Yay, I'm happy that you're here. I'm happy you're here. Okay, so we've been talking about play, about rest, and how play is a form of rest, and how this summer I'm focused on having more fun. But the thing about play is that sometimes when we want to have fun or when we want to start a new hobby, perfectionism creeps its little head in and it's like, you're not good at this. And because we know that we're not good at something, we put it down or we can start comparing ourselves to other people. And what started off as like a venture to bring more joy and more breathing room and play and fun turns into bondage because we're worried about being perfect. And I am not, what is the word? I am not immune to perfectionism. If anything, I am recovering. I'm a recovering perfectionist because we'll get into that in a second. But I'm a recovering perfectionist, and that means that everything that I did, it needed to have a good reason to be done. It needed to be done well, and we'll talk about that too. It needed to be done at the standard that other people wanted it to be, because those standards didn't come from me. So we're going to talk all about perfectionism, and we're going to also talk about it on Friday, but we're going to start here. So welcome, everybody. Hi, hi. Hi. Okay. Yes. Hi, AO Mars. Hi, Kirsten Butler. Hello. Good morning. Hi, gorgeous one. Good morning. Hi, Mika Campbell. Hi, Maya Zane. Hi. Hi, Agnes. Tamanda Mbwe. I hope I'm saying that correct. If I'm saying it wrong, please forgive me and correct me. Hi, Chica. Hi, Quamisha Brown. Hi, good morning. Hi, lovely day one day. Yes, hearts to you. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Renee Hodges. Oh, the Dark Knight. It's always good to see you. Hi. Yes, happy Wednesday, everybody. And yes, I did make you a mod. I'm trying to pick people. If you want to be a mod, let me know. I'll go in later and make you a mod, but I realize I need help. So if you don't want to be a mod and I made you a mod, it's okay. You can reject it. You can let me know. But yes, yes, hi. It means I trust you. I find you trustworthy and all that stuff. Yes. Oh, love this topic. This is hard as a Virgo. I understand. I understand. I'm not a Virgo, but I get the perfectionism struggle. Oh, yay. I'm glad that you're here. I'm honored that you would spend time with me, the Dark Knight. Thank you. Hi. Is it Alicia or Alicia? Alicia, we're twins. I totally understand. Same, same. Oh yes, please. If you like the video, please like. It really helps me out with the algorithm, and helps people to know that this is a video that they may want to watch. So I appreciate you. Hi, Shaughnessy. Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Sublime Thinker. Hi, Kevno. I'm happy that you're here. All things O. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. Hi. Yes, yes. Hi, H and C. Hello. Ooh, sorry. Oh, best believe I want to be a mod. I'm blocking all the trolls. I appreciate you because I don't be seeing them. I don't. I don't be seeing them until it's too late. So I appreciate you. Oh, Alicia. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Yay. Sorry, y'all. A truck just drove by. We gonna keep the window open and try, but we gonna see. Hi, Verlin Francois. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Yes, I'm glad that you're here. Love all the way from Canada. Love all the way from Maryland. Hello. Come on, Top Flight Security. I appreciate you. All right. Yes. Hi, Golden. Hi. Yes. Good morning. Hi, MZ. Okay. So for this conversation, I'm going to go all the way back. I want to say I was around 9 or 10 years old, I think. And I was in a performing arts summer camp. And in the summer camp, I was singing, I was dancing. What else? I think there was like piano as well. But either way, like we were there like just to have fun as kids and to play and to create. Towards the end of the program, though, I was in a dance, performance major in the summer camp. I don't even know what you call it. But either way, I was dancing. And so she, at the end, made us try out for the summer show. Like, this is like the big reveal of everything we've learned and everything we've practiced over all this time, right? And so we were dancing, and I was dancing. I was giving it my little all, my little heart, giving it all my heart and soul. And the lady, I messed up on a part, and the lady sat me down. And she kept doing this until she got the perfect dancers, the dancers who did not mess up. Now, again, mind you, we're 9 or 10. This is for like church. It's not like Juilliard or whatever. It's church for kids. And you're dancing and performing for God ultimately. Like that was supposed to be the goal. Either way, towards the end of the summer camp, I realized that I was not as good as the other dancers, which in my mind was not that bad because I wasn't really trained in it. I danced in church and I danced for fun, but not like for performance really or competition. So all the girls that she sat down in this practice could not perform at the grand show. And so you can just kind of imagine how heartbroken I was. I was like, I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. And it was embarrassing when I look back on it as a kid. I was so embarrassed. I was so ashamed of me being sat down because I misstepped or I made a mistake or I forgot a turn. You know what I'm saying? Like I was so ashamed. And I remember sitting in the audience, and I think my mother was there. I'm sure she was. And me and some other girls who got, X'd from the show started dancing in the aisles together, like with the people on the stage. And it was such a beautiful moment of just like camaraderie of like, I see you, even though we didn't make it, right? Like, even though we didn't make it to the stage, we're still worthy and we're still valuable. And we're going to show this teacher, screw you, basically. And we going to dance, right? And so that's what we did. We danced in the aisles. And I think there was like a look of, if I can remember, there was a look of kind of embarrassment from her because we were in the aisles messing up her big performance. How dare we, reject kids, sit on the sidelines and dance, right? And dance when the people who are really good are on the stage dancing. You know what I mean? And first of all, this just shows me that I've been the same person since a child. Like, forget the rules. This is stupid. Why do we have to perform? Why do we have to audition? And especially because like it was supposed to be like a spiritual thing. God is not interested in whether I plie the right way or if whatever the heck, I can't even remember the terms. Either way, so I danced. But that was one of the seeds that planted into me that if you're not good at something, you can't do it. You shouldn't do it. You shouldn't waste people's time. You shouldn't embarrass yourself, right? I was taught at a very young age that if it doesn't add up or line up with what other people see as good or as profitable, or marketable or enjoyable, pleasurable, then I can't do it. Then I can't do it. That little flame that sparked up when I was a child at 9 or 10 dancing kind of went out. It went out because of society and school, parents, church, all these different things reminding us that we're not perfect, reminding us that we're not enough. And so I really feel like school, performing for other people, capitalism, white supremacy, all these things have played has played a number on our self-esteem, our self-worth, and the permission we give ourselves to do things, even if we're not doing things for the performance or for the acceptance of other people. You know what I mean? Like we're afraid. And the reason why I want to talk about this is because we were supposed to talk about creating a playlist, which is basically a better way of saying a bucket list. Because last time we talked about having fun and how we need to add more joy to our lives. And I want to talk about adding more play to our lives, experimenting more. But I understand that one of the barriers to that thing is perfectionism. It's the feeling of, if I'm not good at it, then I can't do it. If I'm not good at it, I need to put it down. If I'm not improving, whatever that means, if I'm not improving, then I should just give it up. Even if it's giving you joy, even if it's healing to you, nourishing to your soul, you still put it down because you feel like, oh shoot, I'm not good enough for this thing. There's somebody else who's doing it better. Let me stop doing it. We have been taught and trained to be consumed by the public. This culture we live in is all about consumption, consuming people, land, resources, all the things, right? And so we have internalized that we should be consumed as well, almost like we're trying to prepare ourselves on a plate to give to people, to be palatable to people, to be delicious to people, right? We're being consumed by people. And if somebody rejects us and say, that's not really my taste, or that's not my cup of tea, we think that it's a rejection of ourselves wholly and that we should reject ourselves as well. That we should reject our talent and our interests and all these different things that make us us because other people don't approve of what we're doing. right? And so I do that myself, and I'm trying to unlearn that. And so I want to share the journey with you. All right, so I have notes, of course, but I want to check in to see what you all are talking about. Um, let's go down. Yay. Nice to meet you as well. Hi, Vanessa. Oh, Spain. Hello. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. Oh, I appreciate you too. All Things O says, went skating Sunday and had to make myself fall in order not to fall. Listen, that happens. I'd rather fall on my own like will than me being flung to the ground. So totally understand that. Hi, Deshawn. Hello, Alicia. You're truly a gem. So glad so are you. So glad I stumbled across your channel. I'm here to stay. I'm happy that you're here. I hope that you stay. And if you don't stay, that's also okay. But I'm glad that you're here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Verlin says, I'm a perfectionist and it's definitely a big problem for me. Same. You are seen. You are not alone. And at the end of this, we're going to do an exercise together of practicing imperfection, practicing giving ourselves room to mess up, to make mistakes. And so I'm going to do that in public. I'm going to do that in public. Hey, Mara, it's always good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, yeah. Hi, Marissa. It's good to see you. Yes, this topic's on time. I'm glad. Okay, I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad that I listened to my intuition. I was like, let's talk about something else today. It's absolutely ruining all of my fun. I found your page and fell in admiration with your messages. In my 30s now, I'm now relearning myself and letting go of the need for perfection is top of the list. Yes, because once you release that need to be perfect and palatable and marketable and understandable and all these different things to other people, you're free. You're free. Because perfection feels so tight. It feels so heavy. It feels so restrictive, right? Like it feels like this is my box. This is my box and I can't go outside that box. So let's go all the way back talking about this, right? In elementary school, I say this all the time. In elementary school, every kid was good at everything. You walk into a kindergarten class the first day of school. Who was good at drawing? Who was good at singing? Who's good at reading, right? They might not even be able to read. I'm wonderful at reading. Who's good at creating stories? Who's good at, being a good friend? Like, who's the best friend in here? Everybody raises their hands, right? But as you matriculate and you get older and you're like, oh, actually, we are being graded against each other. There are people who are better than me. Maybe I am average. Maybe I'm not good enough. And so you get to third grade or fourth or fifth and you ask the same questions and less hands go up, because they're judging themselves based on whatever they think is perfect in their minds. They could be doodling all day in class, right? But they're not perfect in their minds because Timmy over there, who's drawing like manga and all these different things, right? We're like, oh, dang, I don't draw like him. So maybe I'm not good at drawing. Maybe I'll just hang it up. I'll hang it up, right? And so the older we get, because of the school system, because of society, all the things, because of adults who basically are, a lot of adults are trapped children in adult bodies. Like they don't have permission to be kids. And so they put that same pressure on us to perform as well. And because we're listening to these people who are supposed to have all the answers, right? We realize like, oh, shoot, maybe I need to be realistic about the fact that I'm not perfect. And because I'm not perfect, I don't deserve to be seen. My work in progress doesn't deserve to be honored or, reverenced as some sort of sacred work. Like I'm not good enough. That's what we internalize. And that's what I internalized. So from the dancing, from the schooling, from my peers, from adults in my life, I learned that I am not perfect. And so therefore I am wrong. And if I want to reach a state of being lovable or held as sacred or to be honored, then I have to be perfect. I have to have all my I's dotted and all my T's crossed, right? That's who I have to be loved, to be seen as enough. And especially as Black women, I feel like in general, there's so much pressure on Black women to be perfect, have the perfect body, say the perfect things, right? We're towing this line because a lot of us are seeking safety. To be completely honest, if we say the wrong thing, then we might be seen as somebody who's not reputable. We might be seen as somebody who was less than, someone who is of a lower class, you know what I'm saying? And so therefore unworthy of protection and visibility and all these different things, right? So we're internalizing all the messages we're taking in from the world and metabolizing that and saying that this is what has to belong to me. So I've been doing a lot of journaling. If I go all over the place and I need to reel it back in, let me know. But I've been journaling a lot about soil, right? We talked about soil last week or 2 weeks ago, about soil and how we are people of soil, right? But with our soil, people have planted seeds and weeds in us that is sucking the life out of us. And we think like, oh, this is a nice flower. Meanwhile, that weed is deeply embedded in your soil, sucking your resources and your oxygen and like the nitrogen and all these different things that the blooms that you want to have in your life need. And perfectionism is something that we use to keep us safe. But in reality, like, it might be pretty on the outside, it might be nice, right? But we know that it's heavy, it's burdensome, it is a lot of effort, it's a lot of work, it's exhausting. Perfectionism is really like an abusive friend. It's like, I'll keep you safe, right? And then really, like, it's like wringing our necks low key. We can't breathe, we can't move, we can't grow, we can't try different things because we're so worried about being seen as perfect, as perfect. And we think that perfectionism is going to save us, and really it's killing us. So, fun, yes, perfectionism is ruining the fun, and I'm gonna get to that in a second, but it's also ruining your life. If you're a perfectionist, I promise you that there is something better out there, more freeing, more air, more sun, more room, more connection with other people beyond perfectionism. So, yes, yes. Okay. Oh, yeah, yeah. It's awesome that you also dance. Yes, yes. I don't know who was the first one to do it, but I looked over and I was like, we dancing. We doing it. We doing it. So, yes, let me come down, y'all. Y'all are saying amazing things. Um, yeah, yeah, it's learned behavior for sure. For sure. Yes, freedom feels so good and it's so necessary. It's very true. It's very true. Being perfect is inhuman. Listen, it's anti-human, and this culture that we live in is anti-human. It's anti-nature, it's anti-man, it's anti-love, all these different things, right? They want us to be robots. They want us to be products, right? Products. They want us to be productive. Like, productivity is like the main thing that's hailed as worthy and valuable, but nothing done for fun or for pleasure or for leisure. All right, let me get to my notes. But yes, yes. Yes. Uh-oh, let's see. Do you notice how the non-melanated, that's funny, are hailed as perfect no matter what they do? Yep. And we are over here killing ourselves for a box and a category that never was meant for us and does not belong to us. This all things owe. This, right? And that's why I said, like, for black women specifically, black folks in general, like, it is futile to seek perfection under these restrictive rules, right? Like, it is futile. Like, seeking perfection among, like, you're born wrong. You're born wrong. You have the wrong skin, the wrong hair texture, the wrong speech, the wrong features, right? Like, you have the wrong thing. You're born wrong. And so you're learning, like, oh shoot, who I am as a person is wrong. I gotta be more than, I gotta be better than, I gotta overcome the odds to be seen as worthy, to be seen as valuable. We're taught that. Yes. Yes. Yes, non melanated. Yes, Marissa says, yes, I'm interested in how this creates symptoms of OCD. Ooh, that's a good one for black women because we're judged so harshly for imperfection. Exactly, exactly, exactly. And yes, I'm interested in that too. That's actually really interesting. Hi, PTPO. Hello. Oh, I'm happy. That makes me happy. That makes me really happy. It's a lot of pressure. It is. Yes, perfectionism was until today. Okay, Mika, ruining my life for fun, my freedom. Absolutely. Hi, Chica Photo. Hey, Alicia. Hey, ladies. This is why we need our own black women owned spaces so that those who navigated this issue can share tools to get past it. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm so glad that more black women are coming forward and being like, this ain't it. This, I tried and this sucks. Right? Like, even my video about like being the example of like black girl magic and doing all the things. It didn't okay. I got a little hand clap and some awards and some letters, and now what? Now I'm exhausted. Now I'm questioning everything I do because I don't trust that I am enough. I don't trust that I'm worthy. I don't trust that my ideas are enough. Right? So, yes. All right. So, the notes say a lot of us put things down because we're not good at them. Right? They go from things we do that bring us joy to things that we do to perform for others and for their validation, their love, and their acceptance. But who says we have to be good at anything? What does good mean? That's a question I want to ask you. What does it mean to be good at something? What does it mean to be proficient at something? What does it mean to be talented at something? Right? What does it mean? I don't know. My definition of good has always been influenced or based on what other people are saying, on other people's ideas of good and good enough, right? in art class, I could be drawing and doodling and finger painting. And I'm like, oh my God, this is a masterpiece. This is amazing. And then the art teacher will come to me and be like, well, your process is a little, and you should have done this. And maybe if you added more color here. And it's like, but I didn't want to do that. And so now I'm second guessing my thing and saying, dang, maybe it wasn't good. Maybe I'm not good at this. Right. But it was good to me. It felt good to make, and it felt good to look at it. Right. But because somebody else says it is not good, now it's like, oh, I'm not good enough. I have internalized that. And because we're babies, when we're hearing this stuff, because we're young adults or whatever, like we're impressionable. So we take their adults' words as truth because they're supposed to be like the wisdom. They're supposed to be the source of everything we need. And sometimes these adults are also broken and perfectionists. And they're putting that same perfectionism on us as chains. Like, oh, us being chained is normal. This is how we get successful. So let me put this on you. You know what I'm saying? So yes. And yes, thank you, The Dark Knight. Yes, side note to everybody, Marissa Price also has a YouTube channel. If you haven't, check out her channel two for more talk on Black women. Yes, please. Yes, please. Please support Marissa. She has amazing, amazing information to offer. Okay, let's see. Oh, yes, and she's tomorrow, right? Tomorrow she is going live, if I'm not mistaken. I think she's interviewing someone, so please check out her channel. Yay. All right, yes. Oh, no. Yeah, art school ruined art for me. Yeah, I've heard that from a lot of people. I had, when I was in college, I was thinking about studying music, but some of my Black friends were in the music program. It's at Towson, which is a PWI, predominantly white institution. And they became, I don't know, they second guessed their musical abilities. They were also exhausted. They were also like, worn down because they were made to, if you don't sing classically like this, if you don't play classically, right? Even that classism idea of classic, what is classical music? That idea, right? So like, if you don't sing classically, if you don't sound like this, and we know like as Black folks, a lot of us, our voices sound a little different. Our voices are more textured. They're a little more resonant. They are warmer, right? They're kind of like anti what is classical music in general. Obviously there are exceptions to this rule, but when I pick up the phone, I can tell sometimes if a person is of color or not, right? And so when you're there, they're trying to literally shave off parts of you that make you to fit this idea of what good music is. You know what I'm saying? And I think about, yes, that our voices got seasoning, okay? There's a little something extra to it. And I love it. But like being in those spaces, like the art school that you're talking about, especially in white spaces, they're like, no, it's wrong. Your vibrato is wrong. The way that you even reach different scales. Like when someone's doing a run, there are certain runs and choices that Black people make, right? And that's like the history of music, going back to the church and all this different stuff, going back to the plantation, even going back to our roots over in Africa. Like there's something cultural about the way that we present, the way that we speak, the way that we say things, right? Our expressions are inherently ours, but the world is constantly telling us that it's not enough or that it's wrong or we need to correct it. Lower your voice. Stop speaking so assertively or aggressively, they'll say. You know what I'm saying? So yes. Yeah, I've heard that a lot. And I'm really sorry that art school ruined that for you. I would say give yourself grace and allow yourself to play, to experiment, to finger paint. Like literally go back to the basics and start over with the foundation that this is enough. I am enough. If I like it, it's good enough. Even if I don't like it, the process, it's good enough. You know? So yes. Hi, Nose Ocean. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. I'm glad that you're here. Welcome. Yay. Awesome. Okay. Let's see. Then they ask, what's wrong with you? Yeah. What's wrong with me? Exactly. You are what's wrong with me. That's it. Even if you get paid as a creative, I think it's important to still create some personal art that's just for you to consume and admire. 1,000%, 1,000%. Even here on YouTube, I talk about things that people want to talk about, but a lot of it is just stuff I want to talk about in general. And sometimes I create stuff knowing it's not going to get views, knowing it's probably not going to get picked up by the algorithm, but that's not the point. The point is to reclaim myself as sovereign and as sacred and to be like, my ideas still deserve to be seen, even if only 5 people look at it. I liked it, so I'm going to share it. You know what I mean? So yes. Oh, Lord. That reminds me, didn't the Art Institute get shut down for being a scam? Did they? I didn't know. I know that they disappeared. But yeah, I don't know what happened. Jeez, that makes sense. Kind of checks out. Yay. Okay. Marissa says going live tomorrow with Lydia Carradine to talk about how living with a disability affects mental health. Yes, I'm excited for this. Y'all, if you can, please go to Marissa's channel, subscribe, support, like the stuff, and save it to watch later and notify me. Please. Yay. I have a sketchbook that I like to paint in just because I feel like it. Not for me to share with anybody. Absolutely. And that counts. And that completely counts. This. That's just it. We're doing things for whose approval? Who made them the ruler of the earth? Exactly. Okay. So this is kind of a side note. I'm just going to say this because you all are friends. But I don't want to go to a white school to tell me that my art is not good enough. I think there is beauty in being in collaboration with people and in community with people. But if you already don't understand my background, I'm not gonna sanitize my art for you to understand, for you to make sense of it, and to tell me that, like, I don't want to pay you to tell me that how I want to create is wrong. This idea of like what is fine art and what is classical, again, like these words that are used to be like, this is like the top premium order of art. And if you are not up here, then you're kind of niche or you're to the side, right? These systems were created. White people decided that their art was better. That's all that happens. White people decided that their art is like the art. Even the techniques that we learned were created by other people who were experimenting and playing and having fun. And some people create art that way and some don't. And all art deserves to be supported and seen. And all art resonates with who it needs to resonate with. I'm not creating my art to resonate with white folks. I'm sorry, I'm just not. If they do, that's wonderful, but that's not my goal. And I think that a lot of artists go to these schools or whatever they're doing, writing, singing, drawing, painting, speaking, right? Like even the speech industry. I got thoughts there. You know, what makes a good speaker? Is it how they speak? Is it them saying the right words, or is it how you feel? Is it you being moved? Is it you being touched? You know what I'm saying? Like there are a lot of philosophers down the street who, if you listen to them and take time to listen to them, will change your life. But because we're not seeing them as worthy or as perfect or as good enough, because of respectability politics or whatever the heck, right? You're missing out on wisdom. Because society has decided what is the standard, and you don't meet that standard unless you crunch yourself and fold yourself and bend yourself backwards and do all this stuff, sanitize who you are to show up, to one, even be listened to. That idea of what is professional. That's another question. Like this idea to be that I have to somehow dumb myself down or water myself down or sanitize myself to be seen as worthy enough to be listened to. That's a problem. That's a problem. And so many artists throw away their art. So many revolutionaries throw away their work because they don't see themselves as perfect. Perfectionism is killing all of us. It is robbing us of innovation, of new ideas. Even as I'm sharing my own stuff, when I share my own thoughts, these are thoughts in progress. I don't have all the answers. And I've gotten a few comments, especially when I question or push back on stuff like capitalism and all this other stuff. And people be like, well, what's the answer? Why are you asking me? I think it's okay to not know. I think it's okay to question things and still like not have an answer yet. Maybe I'll figure out an answer for myself, or maybe we can all come together. Don't put that burden on me to figure everything out, right? But like we come together and figure out something else. You know? So yes, Marissa, I'm here with you. 1,000%. 1,000%. Okay. Let's see. Yes. We're indoctrinated to constantly seek their approval. Yep. Reclaiming our sovereignty is key. 1,000%. 1,000%. Hi, Kim. Is it 7 million? I don't know. I can't see the zeros. Anyway, hello. Welcome. Hi, Alicia. I'm finally on one of your live vids. Welcome. I'm happy you're here. Just want you to know you're inspirational. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, it's innate and God-given. Who we are is exactly who we need to be. This is it. We are born. Marissa posted something a couple of days ago, and the question was, who were you before? Let me not butcher this, but I've had this, like the same question. Who were you before? Marissa, you can, if you want to ask it in the chat, you can. But basically, we're born correct. We're born correct, but we go through these processes that make us lose sight of who we really are and lose sight to the fact that we are enough and that we've always been enough. Because when the world convinces us that we're not enough, right? When the world convinces us that we're not enough, they get us to buy stuff. They get us to forsake ourselves. They get us to lie to ourselves, to push forth their narrative and put it on other people, i.e., the artist, teacher who's like, that's not correct. You can't do it this way because somebody told that to them. We become agents for them. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Here we go. Let me share my screen if I can. Present, share screen. I think we're doing this right. Yes. Share. Yay. Okay. Who were you before the world told you who you should be? Who were you before the world told you who you should be? That's the question I want to ask all of y'all today. Thank you, Marissa, for that too. Because yes, like we all become, in a way, someone else to be protected, to be provided for, to be loved, to be seen as human, to be thought of as enough. Like we all do some sort of masking or hiding or evolving, changing, I'll say, not evolving, but changing who we are to be seen as enough to other people, you know? So yes. Okay. All right. So yes, but who says we have to be good at anything? To share it, to do it, to enjoy it. So I've always been interested in guitars, right? Playing guitars. I love like rich sounds. I love acoustic guitars. I love the cello. I love bass. I just love that I can feel it. Like it just feels like chocolate. I told Jamal the other day, I was like, cellos are like chocolate. And he's like, oh really? What kind? I'm like, dark chocolate, like dark, rich chocolate. Like that's what cello sounds like to me, right? Like chocolate. And I love the rich sounds and the intimate sound and feel of breath of all of them. It feels like breathing when I hear a cello playing and when I see a celloist playing and like their face is like contorting because they feel what they're playing. And something about the acoustic guitar, even when I play it, it's very intimate. It's very sacred. Like it quiets you down a little bit and gets you present in the moment when you're trying to play the chords and things like that. But also, again, it just brings me joy. It just makes me happy, right? And so I wanted to learn how to play. And so I bought a guitar. I bought a guitar a few years ago. It's like my first like legit guitar. And I started playing it. But I got so frustrated because I wasn't good at it. Like if you're like me, you'll not do something because you're not good at it. You won't even allow yourself to try because you're like, what's the point? I'm not good at it. If I can't share it with other people, what's the point of playing it? If I can't sound good to myself, what's the point? Right? And so I played it a little bit. I was learning chords and playing and singing, and it brought me joy because every time I went to record a song on my guitar, I kept messing up. I kept singing the notes, or I kept placing my hand in the wrong chord formations, and I had to keep starting over and over again. And that got exhausting to me. And so I put it down. I stopped playing. And I haven't played my guitar, I would say in over a year. Maybe over a year. But I'm going to play it for you today so that I can practice when I'm preaching and be imperfect, be in process. But also, who said that I had to become a good guitar player to play guitar? Who said that I have to become proficient in something? I don't have to improve if I don't want to. That's the beauty. That's the freedom. We don't have to improve anything that we want to improve on. Like if we don't feel like improving on something, we don't have to. Here, everything is about growth. And it's about productivity, marketability, all these different things, right? It's about like, no, if I got to be the best, I'm in competition with my old self. I'm not. I'm in competition with the person next to me. I'm not, right? I'm here to have fun. And if I enjoy the sounds, I just listed you the reasons why I love the sound of acoustic guitar, cello, and bass. None of them had to do with being good at it. None of them had anything to do with being good at those things. It had to do with how it made me feel. And so what I want to reteach myself is that how I feel doing something is more important than the outcome of the thing and more important than other people's judgment of that thing. And I think that's the first step to freedom for myself. Doing things like hobbies, being an amateur, this word that we're afraid of being called. Oh, it's amateur hour, as if it's an insult. Amateur just means you're doing it for the love of it. I want to get back to doing stuff for the love of it, listening to stuff for the love of it, not trying to be good at something, but accepting that I am good, I am perfect, I am enough, right? In all my imperfection, and I still deserve to try new things and be bad at them and to fall on my face and still do them anyway. And so do them anyway because I don't belong to capitalism. I don't belong to productivity or improvement. Like I can have hobbies and things that I do just for my own enjoyment and pleasure, and I'm not being graded on this thing. That's another thing I have to unlearn. Being grading myself on everything, judging everything. Some things just are. Some things just are. And I love being able to be in the moment with those things. Okay. So yeah, so I wasn't good at the guitar, so I put it down. But there are a lot of things that I put down because I'm not good at them, or I know that I'm not going to be good at them. I'm just like, whatever. There's no point. Forget it. I suck. Whatever. Like Guff Muff. Hi, Guff Muff. That name was fun. Proficiency is good though. I think the pressure is the thing to avoid. Yeah, yeah. If you want to improve, that's fine. But you also don't have to improve on everything. Like some things I want to improve on. Some things I don't have to. Because I'm not trying to be Santana out here. I'm not. I'm not trying to play, acoustic guitar for a living. I'm not trying to do that. Like I'm doing it for fun because it feels good and it's meditative for me. It feels good to me. It keeps me in the moment. You know what I'm saying? It allows me to sing and I love singing. I love singing. That's why I play guitar, not to get better. If I get better, that's a bonus. But with my little 5 chords I know, what do I know? A minor, D, D minor, E minor. Let me just go down. A, don't know B. C, D, D minor, E minor, F kind of, G, and then all over again, right? Like, and I think with those things, it's amazing because you can play so many songs with those chords. You don't need to know a lot to play songs that you know and enjoy and want to sing along with. So I think that for me, I know my goal, and my goal is not to be good at the thing, it's to feel good within my body. So I don't want to put that pressure on myself. If I feel like learning a new chord, wonderful. If I don't, forget it. Because the thing is, I've said this before, I have small hands, I have short fingers, and I'm not the best. I need probably like a ukulele or something to get better, but like, I'm not the best at guitar, and it's okay. It's all right. I use my voice as an instrument, and that's one thing I do want to get better at. You know what I'm saying? But I have some things to the side that are just for fun, for play, for meditation. So yeah, that's all I mean. But yes. All right. Okay, yes. So we've been taught to only pursue things that are profitable, productive, acceptable to other people's standards. Whether we're doing it for money. If it don't make money, it don't make sense. Okay? We're doing it for views, for fame, for accolades, for growth. But what profits are we missing out on by avoiding being bad at something? What benefit are we missing out on by not allowing ourselves to be bad at something? You hear the cicadas? I hope y'all can hear it. It's the sound of summer. Anyway, okay. But yes, what are we missing out on trying not to be bad or seen as bad at something, right? We're missing out on joy, bliss, creativity, innovation, fun, connection, community, pleasure, rest. These are the things that we're losing because we're too afraid of being imperfect, of being what we already know that we are. We miss out on the joy. And so even when we are pursuing to become better at something we want to become better at, when we're approaching it from the idea of perfection, like practice makes perfect, like these ideas, these sayings that we say over and over again, when we don't seem like we're improving on our own timeline, we give it up. Or we hate ourselves, or we say we're not good at something and we feel frustrated and heavy. I'm saying this because I felt that way, right? When we are putting so much pressure on becoming palatable to other people's ears or taste or whatever it is, then like we're judging ourselves, we're grading ourselves, and sometimes that stops us from creating and doing. You don't get better because the process is heavy. The process is hard. The process is no longer fun. And if it's not fun, what's the point? You know what I mean? Okay, so your enjoyment is enough reason to do something. When we put too much pressure on ourselves, we kill the fun. We kill our dreams. We kill our hobbies. We kill the love that we have for something. Like the art school we talked about. Too much pressure, being graded, having to compete, right? Having your gift abused by other people. That's exhausting. It wears on you. And you stop doing the thing that God put in your heart to do because other people say it's not good enough or they don't like it. There are so many artists that I follow. Nina Simone is one of my favorites, period. But I love that her voice is far from perfect. Even though I really enjoy Nina, one of my favorite things that I enjoy about Nina is that she's not perfect vocally. And she spoke about this before. Like she wanted to be a pianist, right? And so when people were like, you have to sing, and she's like, I don't want to sing. And now like we know her for her voice. Her voice is something that pierces through. It doesn't sound like other voices. She sings with such passion, with the storytelling, right? With the fire, with that grit that only she has and that she carries, her own gift. And thank God she didn't see her gift as imperfect, not perfect enough to be shared, because her voice resonates. Like when you think of Nina Simone, her voice comes up instantly. You know what I'm talking about. Like there's something beautiful about that. And in her perfection, in her imperfection, excuse me, she's perfect. It's perfect. Period. Period. Hi, Aya. or Aya. I'm saying your name correctly. Please forgive me if I'm not. But yes. Hi, a villainous crone. Yes, Nina Simone is amazing. Yes, Mississippi GD. Okay, Nina, like she brings her whole soul to her storytelling, to her singing. It's not just about the piano, which is amazing, right? I'm gonna actually share a link with y'all. One of my favorite songs by her is "I Ain't Got No, I Got Life." It's a live performance that she did. Nina Simone. I ain't got no dot dot dot. I got life. It's my favorite rendition of the song that she's ever done. And this video is in Portuguese, but you'll get the idea. The title's in Portuguese, but her singing is in English. Let's see. Mm-mm. All right. To check out at your leisure, because it's one of my favorite songs ever. Okay. Oh no. I've lost two aunts that literally died from stress, illnesses caused by chasing perfection. Oh, I'm sorry. Both in their early 50s. Amazing women, but stuck on perfection and they never got to be their full selves. Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of us are carrying that same weight, right? And I hope, first of all, I'm really sorry to hear about your losses. That's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. And I think the way that you can honor them is by being free, right? By not judging yourselves by the same measurements, by shaking that off. So yeah, one, I'm really sorry to hear that. That's really sad. That's really sad. I love your teachings. They are life-giving and transformative. That makes me happy. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for being here. This is a conversation. I love that we're conversing. I appreciate y'all. Oh, Anthony David has the album Three Chords and the truth, simple and to the point. I love that. I need to look that up. Because we underestimate what we can do with a little bit. That's creativity. That's innovation. We underestimate what we can do with a little bit. There's an artist I follow on Instagram. Can't remember their name, but if I come across them again, because the algorithm be messing stuff up, I will share their link. But this person creates art with their fingers. And artists will tell, that's not a good strategy. You need to be using these brushes and this angle and this kind of paint or whatever. This person uses their fingers and like black paint and creates these beautiful masterpieces with little. You know what I'm saying? And had he listened to people telling him that's not the correct way to do it, you know what I'm saying? Like, he wouldn't be the artist that he is. So anyway, yes. Okay. Yes, absolutely. Yes, this is such a great reminder to live free and choose ourselves. Absolutely. Yes, that's another great song. All Things O. It is. Absolutely. Okay. So yes. All right. So yes, when I say when we put too much pressure on ourselves, we kill our fun, the dreams, our seeds, our joy. And these standards that we judge ourselves with aren't even our standards, y'all. They're not. They didn't come from us. They came from other people's expectations and judgments, society, school, or somewhere with adults. A person who said, what if they're bad? Right? But bad to who? Who is this person? Who is they? They're not going to like this. Who is they? They say you shouldn't. Who is they? And why do we decide that they get to be, like Marissa was saying, like the people to speak for all of us? Again, some of my favorite artists are imperfect, vocally imperfect, but you know that they mean what they're singing about. They sing with such conviction. You know what I mean? Like, yes, all of this. I don't care if you flat or sharp, girl, keep singing. It's ministry to me. It's ministry to me because you don't have to be perfect to be impactful. You don't. I talked about this before. The book, Black Girl Creative. Oh, yeah, it's right here. Black Girl Creative is a book that I wrote. And the first edition I put out, it was riddled with misspellings and not saying that you should do this, whatever. But honestly, I say go for it. Misspellings and bad grammar and whatever. And people still got the message. And I went back and redid it. But the point that it showed me was that, like, perfectionism is a lie. It's a lie. If people can understand what you're saying, they understand what you're saying. And sometimes we're in the way. Be okay with, like, messy first drafts. Be okay with, like, sharing the ugly parts, the parts that you don't like. It might be freeing to other people. Yes. There's something therapeutic about singing. It's healing. It's healing when you're singing. There's like energy being moved. Again, when I'm feeling depressed, if I can get the energy to sing, when I sing, I feel better. I get in the shower, I sing. Singing just feels good. Music is just therapy. It's medicine. Music is medicine. Yes, Nina Simone is that girl. Okay. Yes, your work is even more impactful when it's not perfect because it's real. This part, we have taught to be so sanitized. But when you take the taste out of the thing and you take the flavor and the feel, it feels robotic. And it creates a prison for other people too. That's why, listen, I tell people I am not perfect. I don't have all the answers. I might misspeak. I might say one thing today and another thing tomorrow because I'm in progress. I'm a human being living this experience and learning as I go and figuring it out along the way. But I don't have to be perfect to move. I don't have to be perfect to be impactful. I don't have to be perfect to try something or to create something. Because none of us are perfect. And if we wait for perfect conditions, if we wait to be a perfect person, we'll never do anything. Nothing. Nothing. Okay. Okay, go back. So bad to who? And why should it matter what they think? If you're doing your hobbies and you're healing yourself and you're having fun with yourself, who cares who don't like it? Why should we care? Why are we taught to elevate other people's opinions above our own? We're taught to seek, like we're talking about, we're taught to seek approval for us just being, for us being human. If I'm enjoying what I'm doing, how you feel about what I'm doing doesn't really matter. And that's why it's important to have hobbies and to be an amateur about some things because you don't want to sell everything. You don't want to make everything a thing. And I have a habit of making everything a thing. I'm going to sing a song every day. I'm going to sing a song every week. First of all, girl, no, that's not how art works. But also, like, stop treating yourself like a slave, like a machine. Stop plugging yourselves into productivity when this is a hobby and something fun and joyous and happy for you. Right? Like, I'm not a slave. I'm free. So let me stop putting those same binds, on myself. I'm free. I don't have to do all that. So anyway, so good versus bad. Like, what is good versus what is bad, right? Was created by oppressors and passed down to us. When you think about colonization, and I was reading, I don't have the book anymore, but the book is called A People's History of the United States by Howard Zinn. And there were some accounts in there from, of course, the colonizers and people talking about basically how savage, how savage these people were, whose land they were colonizing. Oh, they're not a people who are elevated and they share things and they don't compete for anything, like all these different things, like this is somehow bad or evil, right? And so these ideas of what is good and bad have been created by people who don't even like us. Like, who don't even see us as human beings. Like, even historically, 3/5 a person is not a human being, right? So like, we're trying to judge ourselves with these standards that weren't created for us, but we have to get in line to be seen as worthy and as valuable. I don't want to do that no more. I'm not interested. I did that too long. I lost myself. I lost my own voice. You know what I'm saying? I lost my own ideas. And even now I still struggle with, like, is this a good idea? I don't know. Should I? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. Right? Like this feeling of indecision is not from me. It's from other people because I'm like measuring myself and my ideas against what other people think is good or bad. So we're born knowing good. We're born knowing that we're good. Kids know they're good. Again, like I talk about, when you walk into a room, who's a great artist? I am. I'm amazing. Everything I do is successful, right? We know that we're good. We know that we're enough. We know that we have the answers. But over time, we lose sight of that. We're blinded by perfectionism and productivity and performance and auditioning for other people's approval and trauma and all these different things. Capitalism, trying to survive in this world. And so, like, now we're in a place where we're lost and we feel like we've lost ourselves, but really we're just buried underneath all that extra stuff. We can't see because we're looking out there, right? When really we need to just come back here. Go back to 5 or 4 or 3 or whatever age you were before you entered the system that sanitizes you, that tells you you're not enough, right? And we're free. We're free. Then we're taught to be hypercritical of ourselves, right? Like writing a paper and all the red marks. Our life is like that red marks. When we see ourselves, when we see our reflection in the mirror, all we see is imperfection. All we see is X marks and circles here and like, oh, I don't like that there. Oh, I wish I could. You know what I'm saying? Like we're so riddled with we're like drenched in imperfectionism, or excuse me, in perfectionism, that we don't even see ourselves as holy and sacred beings anymore. It goes beyond our hobbies and our art and our talent and the ideas that we have. Those weeds that they planted into us, like, again, they're sucking the life out of us. We don't see our bodies as enough. Our bodies, the bodies that take care of us every single day, we don't see that as enough because it's not perfect. Because we have cellulite here or hair there, a little jiggle there, it's a little flat there, right? Like somehow that we don't fit into this perfect mold, then we're somehow not worthy. This mold that was created by people who hate us in the first place. Somehow we're not worthy, right? We put away childish things and become realistic, which ruins everything. Because whose reality are we living in when we say we want to be realistic? Not ours. Whose reality? This reality that we're living in is somebody's imagination, right? Ooh, the extra crispy, extra, this name, podcast. Communion by Bell Hooks is helping me with learning to love my body and its connection to overall self-love. Ah, this is actually, if I can get it, got the wrong book. This is on my reading list. Communion by Bell Hooks. So I'm excited. So it's called Communion, The Female Search for Love. I'm excited. The title, sorry y'all, it's hard to see. But yes, I'm excited. So thank you for sharing this. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, okay. We from Atlanta and we love wings. Okay. That name is interesting. Thank you for sharing. And no worries, Miss A. You're right on time. Let's see. They are jealous of us and sick in their minds. Yeah. They are trying to consume what is naturally God-given. That part. And everything, again, forgot who said it, but somebody said it. Everything is ghetto until proven profitable. Think of all the things they told Black people is not good enough, right? Like, the way you speak is not good enough. The way you dress is not good enough. The way that you show up in spaces, the way you wear your hair, the way you dance is not good enough. Like the way you sing. And now look, it's all profitable. It's all for sale. And we are not the ones we're not the talent that they're selling, by the way. Like they have, whatever. They have convinced us that we're not perfect until they can make money from it. So it's a lie. Everything's a lie. You got people online now talking in AAVE and calling it internet slang. First of all, the disrespect, but also, no, that's sacred language. What? Anyway, I have thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts. Listen, you hear me? Tired. A villainous crone says, I left that world years ago. I love that. They'll never see us as human or equal. So working myself to death to be acceptable is not happening here. I love that. I'm so glad I woke up grateful. Me too. I'm glad that you woke up too. And I'm getting there. I'm trying to get there. Oh, good. Mara says, I have the same book, just have to finish it. Yes. Finishing books is something for me. I'm also been okay with reading multiple books at the same time. At first I thought, like, I can't do that. I can't read multiple books. Why can't I? Why not? So I am. So it's taking me a longer time to finish books. But yes. It's like the book, The Invisible Man. The letter said to keep him running, and we are always running towards false perfection. Oh, it's a butterfly outside my window. Hi, butterfly. Marissa says they want us to view them as God. That's it. They want us to view them as God. That part. They are the authority on everything. What is good, what is profitable, what's a good idea, right? Yes. Oh my God. But I know what you talk about. If I see one more of them in braids, it's annoying. It's very annoying. It's upsetting me and my homegirls. It's annoying. Yeah. Black people are creativity, emotion. That part. We are art. Period. Black people are art. That's it. This also hurts when trying to help other Black women understand that integrity and ethics in the system don't exist. That part. It's sad and it's true. Overworking for performative reasons. Yep. We're just born with the sauce. That's it. There's like a warmth and a familiarity and a humor and a musicality that Black people have, right? I just love it. I just love it. And it's like trying to make that understood by other people is hard. But I try. But even still, like, what's understood is understood. Those who get it, get it. You know what I mean? I read multiple books at the same time. Okay, good. I'm not alone. Girl, in corporate design, they label our jewelry the ghetto collection. Wow. And when I overheard, they apologized, but my manager wore all of our fashions. Okay, I'm glad that you no longer work there. I'm sorry to hear that. Wow. I'm so sorry. That's awful. Um, or those Yes, I understand what you mean. Yes. It reminds me the movie Trolls. The trolls had the natural essence and joy that they wanted to consume. Yes. First of all, I still got to watch the first one. I only watched the one with the funk and everything like that when they were trying to find the music, but I got to watch the first one. But yes. The inferior will always come for superior. If you know, you know. We say how well they did on their own without our creativity when the black TikTok creators went on strike. Hello? We all felt that drought. We all saw what happened when they all went away. It was not giving. So sorry. So sorry. But yes. Yes. Okay. So, the sad part about perfectionism, right, is that there are so many dreams that are left unpursued. So many changes that needed to be made in the world because we thought it wasn't perfect. And that's the thing. When you're trying to push against society, it's obviously not going to be seen as perfect, right? Because anything that deviates from their plan and their ideas is imperfect, is less than, is not enough, which is why it gets shut down so often, right? There's so much joy and connection left untouched because of perfectionism. And I want to know for you, I'm curious to know, when did you know that you were not perfect? When you felt that thing like, oh, I'm not enough, that feeling. I'll wait for your answers, but yes. This, we code switch. We code switch to try to mimic them. No, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's the thing. Like, I was taught that to survive and to make money. But at some point I realized, no, that's not who I am. I want to be a person of integrity, and not saying that people who have to code switch are not being integral people. They are surviving. They're doing what they have to do. But I want to align my life in a way that I don't have to pretend to be somebody that I'm not. Right? And so I chose a creative option. I chose to be self-employed and to create art, to be able to be honest in the most honest way possible through my art. So yes, yes. Okay. In elementary school, the first time an adult told me that I needed to lose weight, I am so sorry. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. And I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry to hear that. Say love. I love the space you've created. Oh yay. I'm so happy I'm not the only one who feels this way. You're not. We all are working through this together. We are. We're healing together. Okay. So, one thing I want to say is that you're allowed to be bad at something and stick with it. Good or bad is subjective. You can change the definition. Instead of saying it's good because others like it and enjoy it and say that I'm good at it, you can change it to it's good because I love it. It's good because I enjoy doing it. It's good because it makes me feel good. It makes me feel present. I like it because it brings me joy. That is good enough reason to keep doing something. You don't have to wait until other people approve of the thing you're doing to keep doing it. Just keep going. Being bad at something is healing. It is healing. It allows us to be free children again. Being bad at something, using air quotes bad, and obviously it's subjective, but meaning when I'm saying being bad, understand that I mean not worrying about being palatable or good enough to other people. Okay, so being bad at something is healing. It allows us to be free children again. That feeling of being a kid. I love drawing. I love painting. I love singing. I love the world. I'm amazing, right? It brings back those feelings. It allows us to have fun without thinking about being palatable or good enough for other people. All our lives, we perform at our jobs, for our friends, our family, right? This play, this imperfect place is a place for us to reclaim ourselves, right? It's a place for us to heal. It's a sacred space for us to be who we truly are and to be our biggest supporter, to be the person that we needed as a kid, being taught that that we need to lose weight or that we're not good enough, right? This white in fifth grade at an all-white school, this white boy told me I had gum disease because my gums are brown. I'm so sorry. Yeah, yeah. Code switching is overwhelming. It is. I'm sadly in middle school. Yeah, very young, very young. I realized I was chasing their form of perfection when I started to think I was one of them. I lost my damn mind for a second there. I got caught up in the burb life. So happy I woke up. I'm happy that you got back to yourself. I am. And there's grace for her, right? There's grace for that person because you were trying to survive. You know what I'm saying? But I'm glad that you chose yourself and chose to come back to yourself. Let's see. I'm going through a major transformation shift, and I found your channel at divine timing. I feel myself returning to myself. Yay! That's the goal, right? That's the goal. My goal is, I talked about this yesterday on my Patreon, but my goal is to remind Black women specifically of what they forgot, that they matter, that they are enough, and that they are loved. Hard stop. Not because they do something, not because they're attached to somebody else or whatever. Period. You came in this world worthy. And we forget that as we go along. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here and sharing that. As a child, I was body shamed and internalized the belief that something was wrong with me. Gym class was rough. I am so sorry, Marissa. I'm really sorry. And yeah, this is like, it's tragic. Like, these are things you should not be saying to children. Like, to people in general. But especially to kids, it's like, what is wrong with people? Like, what? I really try to rationalize. Like, I feel like a lot of people put other people down and feel elevated. And I'm just like, what about you is so small that you got to put down kids to feel good about yourself? It's weird. It's very strange. And it's not an excuse, by the way. It's not an excuse. I'm just trying to rationalize it. It's just, it don't make sense. I didn't learn code switching. I've always had a mid-Atlantic accent. That's funny. That's funny. Also, shout out to the Mid-Atlantic. The South don't claim us, even though we're in the South. The North don't claim us. So we're just Mid-Atlantic. It's literally like Delaware and Maryland. So shout out to us. I'm learning to make jewelry, and I fear I will quit if it's not perfect. Yeah. I'm telling myself to just create. That's it. Just create. Don't put any expectations on that thing except just to have fun, just to express yourself, which is hard. It's difficult, and it's okay to not be, what's the word? To not feel like, oh, I did the thing. The process, make the process enjoyable and fun, you know? Wow, I'm literally bawling over here. Oh, I'm sending you hugs, big hugs. Thank you for this space. I didn't realize how much my best friend's mom hurt me until you read my comment out loud. Yeah. Sometimes it takes time. There's some things I look back on like, wow, they really did that and said that. And I didn't have the language or the awareness back then, but now I do. And now as an adult, like, I can do something about that. You know, therapy, talking it out, working it out, creating to get my feelings out. I do a lot of that. I had a whole album that I need to I have music, y'all, and I need to push it out there and talk about the subjects in the songs. But one of the projects it's called Matter. And it's about Black women mattering and like reminding people that they matter. No matter if you've been discarded or thrown away or brokenhearted, right? Because I went through a big friend breakup, and that really inspired that album. So yes, so creating is a way that I get this stuff out. And I'm able to be as honest as I want, as angry as I want. No one's judging me. And that's it, you know? So yes. We are drop squaring ourselves. Oh no. Yes, yeah. People are weird, yeah. AF then and now for causing trauma to young children in that matter. Yeah, it's weird. Like they have to be like empty. Okay. Tony says, hi, Tony. I kept having panic attacks because I had a scary police pullover. I'm sorry about that. As a Black woman, no one backed me up. Sorry, it went away. No one backed me up. And now I'm always on guard and I can't find joy. Your music really soothes me. I'm glad that it's soothing. And I'm sorry that you experience those things. And I understand. I see you. I understand that. I do. Okay. All right. So being bad at something is healing. All our lives we're performing for our jobs, our friends, etc. Right? But it's good to allow yourself to just be without all that work, without all that being sanitized, and no, all that stuff is extra. It's good to be allowed to be yourself. You have to give yourself permission to be yourself. Yes. Okay. It reminds us that we're sacred beings. It reminds us that we're worthy. It's an exercise in self-love and self-worth. And I am enjoying this, and I'm worthy of my own approval. Like, I'm enjoying doing this thing, and I'm worthy of my own approval. I don't have to seek approval elsewhere because my own is enough. Hello, car. My own is enough. And my value does not change based on whether I'm good at something or not. Whether someone resonates with my art or doesn't. Whether somebody vibes with me or does not. I spend a lot of time, and I still have to unlearn that thinking, that if somebody doesn't like something, that means that I'm wrong. If someone doesn't approve of something, that means that I'm inherently flawed and I'm not worthy of sharing my own ideas anymore. There are times that I see comments on this channel that is very discouraging, and I don't want to make another video. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like it because every time I show up here, I'm being vulnerable. Like this is me. This is who I am, right? And so when you're being vulnerable and wide open, you leave yourself open to other people's criticisms. And when you're being criticized and being sensitive and vulnerable, right? Like it hurts. It hurts. And so to protect yourself from that pain, you start to like close off. Maybe I won't do this anymore. Forget it. Never mind. Maybe it's just maybe what I'm saying. Forget everything I've shared, other stuff that people have said positively. It's like those negative things. It's like make you think maybe altogether I am wrong and maybe altogether I'm not enough. But it takes work to remain open. You know what I'm saying? It takes work to remain open and to remain a child with yourself. I am allowed to be flawed. I am allowed to be wrong. I am allowed to not be palatable. I am allowed to not be liked. I am allowed to not be supported, right, by other people. But the work that I'm trying to do is to like myself, is to support myself, is to love myself beyond what everybody else thinks or assumes about me based on videos I share on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Or music I put out there on Spotify or whatever it is, podcasts, right? Like, no, I am enough. I am sacred. I was sacred coming in. I'm going to be sacred going out. Hopefully no time soon. But yes, yes. Like I said before, you also don't have to improve. I know some things we want to improve on, but some things we don't. We don't have to improve everything. We don't. Some things are good to just be. Like I said, I'm not going to be Santana out here. I'm not going to be not that I know of anyway at this point in my life. I'm not going to be like prolific guitarist. You know what I'm saying? I just play for myself. I play for myself and to sing songs that I love. And my focus in that is not being better, not becoming a better guitarist. It's just to sing and play and to have fun. I don't have to improve. And I think that because of capitalism in this world we live in, everything's about growth, improvement, money, fame, all these different things, all this different currency that we get from other people, that we forget ourselves. We forget what actually brings us joy. Instead of rooting our joy in other people's approval and their like of us or their, I don't know, their love of us, whatever. What about ourselves? Go back to what you actually like. What do you like? What do you like to do? If nobody saw it, if you could do this in the privacy of your own home, what would you do? If there was no judgment, if there was no wrong answer, what would you do? What'd you do? Bubbles. I wrote down an example, bubbles, right? I don't have to be good at blowing bubbles, but I love blowing them. I'm going to blow some bubbles now. I love blowing bubbles. It's something I'll never be good at. It's not really productive. It's kind of wasteful when you think about it, right? But it makes me happy. So why can't we do more things that make us happy like this? And I'm making a mess, obviously. There's something meditative and like childlike about blowing bubbles. And I don't have to be good at it. It takes me out of my head. It takes me out of the need to be good. Like, oh God, that was an oddly shaped bubble. I shouldn't have done that. That's not spherical. What? No, you're doing it because it makes you happy and it brings you pleasure and joy. And it's fun. Shout out to Bubbles for reminding me to be a kid again. So you don't have to get better if you don't want to. And you don't have to learn techniques if you don't want to, right? If you want to finger paint the rest of your life, finger paint. Don't even buy a brush. You know, if you want to use one paint, use one paint, one color, right? Singing in the car or the shower. Don't worry about, obviously don't hurt your throat. We want to protect your voice. But don't worry about technique and improving and keeping up with artists. Take the pressure off of yourself. Dancing. Who cares if you can't plie? Do you like jumping around? First of all, when I go dancing, if I have not left sweaty, the DJ was not good, right? I have not done my job. I'm there jumping around, waving my hands, feeling the music, right? Just doing what feels good in my body, not worrying about how other people are looking at me because they should be dancing themselves. I'm in my own world when I'm dancing. Like I do a lot of jumping, a lot of this. You know what I mean? And obviously like a trained dancer from Juilliard will look at me like, girl, your technique is awful. It's trash. The footing, girl, right? But I'm not doing it for that reason. I'm doing it because it makes me happy. Now, do I want to learn new steps and new like dance moves? Sure, right? For fun, but not to show off and be good, but to bring myself pleasure and enjoyment and to feel good in my own body. I move in a way that my body enjoys. That feels good to my body. You know what I'm saying? I'm laughing because I'm thinking about my knees. After dancing, we were dancing on like this basement floor and just like pound, pound, pound into the ground, wearing the wrong shoes, whatever, girl. And my knees be messed up. Anyway, okay. Running around, swimming. You don't have to be an Olympic athlete to swim and enjoy swimming. You can just love, maybe what you love about swimming is being surrounded by water. Maybe you just want to float. Maybe you just want to go to the bottom and sit in a crisscross applesauce, right? Like, maybe you just want to like swim like a mermaid. Also, check out, if y'all have Netflix, check out Mer People. It's a documentary. Loved it. It was about people, adults, who are mermaids for a living, who are mermaids for fun. Like, anyway, it was just amazing. But maybe you want to pretend to be a mermaid. When I was younger, me and my cousin Ariel would play on my uncle Brian's waterbed, and we'd pretend to be mermaids. Maybe you just want to pretend to be a mermaid. And when I would go swimming, I would do the same thing. Oh, I'm a mermaid. I'm Ariel. Oh my God. I'm amazing. I'm a mermaid, right? Like, maybe that's why you want to swim, not to win a gold medal. Find the reason why you want to do the thing that brings you joy. You know? So, yes. Okay, so running around, maybe, yes. Okay. So, could you love doing something for the love of it? Being an amateur, like we talked about. Being an amateur is not being bad at something, it's doing it for the love of it. The root word is love. Amateur is love, doing something for the love of it. Over the 2 weekends ago, I played improv with my friends. I talked about that before. And I was very in my head, like, I'm not a good actress. I can't do this improv thing. I'm too in my head. I'm not good, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, I realized my friend told me I don't have to be good. It's for fun. No one's judging you or grading you. And what did I do? I had fun. And nobody judged me or graded me. I just played along and it was freeing. It felt like recess. It felt like playing outside on the playground and not having any rules. And you know how kids like make up rules as they go? It's like that's what it felt like. Like, okay, I'm the mermaid now and you're the bank robber. It doesn't have to make sense. Kids just say it and do it, right? It's the same thing with us. We can do the same thing. We can do the same thing. So yeah, so I don't have to be good at it to enjoy it. And you don't either. And so I said, when hobbies become money, perfectionism creeps up. Protect your hobbies from capitalism if you can. I know that sometimes we want to monetize the things that bring us joy, but be careful even in that. Because if we're not careful, even if we make money, make sure that you're making money in the way that you want to, doing things the way that you want to do it. Because like the right people will come. You might not get the majority of people, but the right people will come. Because you don't want to sanitize your joy, your gift, seeking money. So just be careful. Be careful. Okay. So like I said, school, white supremacy, capitalism has done a number on us and on our self-esteem and confidence. But like I asked y'all, when did y'all know that y'all weren't perfect? And you all shared, and I appreciate you all sharing that. Yes. Yes, love that mermaid show. I binged it. Weren't they beautifully free? They were. They were. It was so refreshing seeing adults like being like, no, I'm going to be a mermaid. I'm going to be a mermaid and do it. And some people, did it for a living, but some people just did it for fun. And they have black mermaid meetups. And I think one day I'm going to go. Because I'm going to fulfill this dream that I had at, how old was I? I feel like Little Mermaid came out in '89. I was born in '90. But anyway, but I want to fulfill this dream that I had as a child. Like, I want to be a mermaid. I want to swim with a mermaid, mer people. Okay. So yes. So like I said, there are so many things that I've wanted to try without the pressure of needing to be good at it, but wanting to feel good. Wanting to feel good. And as a recovering perfectionist and people pleaser, being bad at something has set me free. It set me free. And it's helped me unravel not only myself, but others. And I want you to reclaim yourself. Look to be real, honest, authentic, joyous, right? Look to be that. Because what is perfect is varied based on the person, based on the culture, based on the state, based on the time of day. Like, it's a never ending cycle and it doesn't give you any rest. It's exhausting. It kind of ties into people pleasing, I think. Perfectionism, because you're living up. Yeah, I think perfectionism kind of plays into people pleasing. You want to please people as your God, right? We're making people our gods. People are horrible gods. By the way, humans are horrible gods, but we want to make people our gods to verify and validate us when we have all the verification and validation we need to do the thing. What is perfect is varied. It's made up from somebody else's perspective, and we don't have to buy into it. Healing myself through play has been instrumental. Playing around, blowing bubbles, creating music. Like, that's what I do on my loop station when I'm here making songs. It's playing for me. Singing these songs on my loop station is just like painting a picture in my mind, one note at a time, building things. one harmony at a time, starting with a melody to a harmony to a supportive harmony to a bass line, right? It's finger painting a picture with my voice. And playing has been very helpful in me recovering from people pleasing and perfectionism. So, yes, resting the need to be consumed and liked by other people, to be like a product, but operate and move through life like a holy and sacred being, which means that if I am listening to spirit, if I'm listening to myself, and I had this conversation with Jamal yesterday about things I want to do because I'm going to restart my program, but it's just going to look different now. And I'm excited about that. But I felt so trapped because I said, well, people are going to expect it to be this thing. And I realized that these thoughts about the shoulds and what I should be doing and what I can't do and what I can do have been formed by other people's opinions and their rules and not me. Like, I'm not checking in with myself at all. What feels good to me? What do I want to do? This idea of like not moving when spirit says move because of what the world says we should do has trapped me a lot, has stopped me from doing a lot of things. There are things that I've done 5 years ago that I feel like I still have to do because I did it before. And God is like, it's time to move on from that thing. It's time to do something different with that thing. It's time to keep doing the same thing or have the same purpose, but the vehicle by which you do it might be different. And if we are not careful, if we don't listen in, we will miss the move. We'll miss the time that we're supposed to go. And I've been guilty of that. Like, oh, and then feeling this tug of war between who I was and what I did versus what I'm being called to, because it's imperfect, because I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how it's going to turn out. But this is the thing that I know. And so I want to keep doing the thing I know, but I'm still unfulfilled here because it's not where I'm supposed to be. I still feel that tension because I know I should be over there, but I'm too afraid to do it because I'm too afraid of being looked at as imperfect. Right? So I also want to say, maybe you want to try things because you're curious or interested or intrigued by something. This goes to the playlist that we're talking about. This bucket list, I don't want to say that, but a playlist, a list of things that you want to try. When you make this list, do not bring perfectionism with you. Do not bring expectation of being like the top A student with you, right? To perform for other people's approval. Try not to bring those things with you. When you're creating your playlist, make it free. Make it inviting. Make sure it's things that you actually want to do. Do you really want to jump out of a plane? Or do you just feel like you should because everybody else is doing that on their list? That was on my list for a while, and I realized, you know what? I actually don't like flying. So why would I do this? Why would I then fall out of a plane? Why? My husband, what do you call it? Skydove? That's past tense. He skydove or skydived from a plane before when we were dating. And I was like, I could do that. You should do it with me. And I'm like, do I really want to do that? I don't really want to do that. Not really. But yes, make sure it's something that you actually want to do, that you're curious about, that you're intrigued by or interested in. There's no pressure. There's no need to be right. There's no need to be good. You can quit if you don't like it. This is the thing, y'all. If you start something and you don't like it, give it up. Like, and not because you're like, and I don't mean I'm not good at it, so let me put it down, or I'll never be good at something. No, like if it's not bringing you pleasure and joy, if it's hard and arduous, put it down. It's okay to give up. I'm here. You have permission to give up. If it's not vibing with you no more, because things that we did before sometimes we don't want to do anymore, or we think we're interested in anything, we try the thing, we don't like it. It's okay. Nothing's lost. Nothing is lost. Let's see. It's just more information that we're going to use to go into our next thing. So be okay with giving it up. You can quit if you don't like it. And when we create for joy, we save ourselves from capitalism. And this is your permission slip. You're allowed to be bad at things and still do them. You're allowed to not be productive and still do things. You're allowed to be wasteful with bubbles and still do things, right? Like, it's okay that what you're doing doesn't benefit anybody else but you for the moment. Because the thing is, even when we're thinking about this, like we think about selfishness and all these other things that we worry about being. Like, I don't want to be selfish. When you're taking care of yourself, you're good for other people. It starts here. Even scripturally, right? Like, with people who are believers, it's like, love God with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind. Wonderful. Love others as you love yourself. So love God, love yourself, then others. Love God, love yourself, then others. Because how you're loving others is reflective of how you love you. And a lot of times we just go God, others, God, others, God, others, looking to people for that validation and love of self. We're out of order. God, others, or others, God, others, God, others, God, right? Prioritizing everybody else before spirit, before God, before that like intuition. You know what I mean? Prioritize God, yourself, and then loving others. Because when you love yourself, you're able to show up more authentically and honestly and more lovingly and happily. Who wouldn't want to be around you being happy? You know? Okay, one more thing. One more thing I want to say is life is a playground. Life is a playground, and I want to try it all. So this playlist I'm creating, and we'll do it together probably next time. This playlist that I want us to create is like all the things we want to taste test. Just like reading the book. I know some people feel bad about not finishing books. Like, oh man, I haven't finished it. If you got what you needed from the book, it's okay to put it down and revisit it later and start something else. If you have tried sewing, I don't know, tried sewing and you're like, that's cool. I want to do something else. It's okay to want to do something else. You don't have to stay put just because this is what you've always done. It's okay to change your mind. This is a no pressure, no judgment, like judgment free zone list. This is a list of things that you want to do, that you want to try because you're curious about it. You want to play around with it like a kid, like recess, not judge yourself harshly. So, put down what you honestly want to do, not what you feel you must do or you should do. No room for shoulds, no room for musts and mustn'ts. This is a list for joy. So, that's all I have today. But let me see what y'all are saying in the chat, and then I'm going to play a song for you guys, imperfectly. Let's see. Go back, go back. You got to sing when you do stuff. Hi, Fumi. I'm going through. Okay, yes. Okay. Marissa says, okay, yes. Wait, I think I'm too far up. Let me go back down. Okay. It is a vicious cycle that many have been experienced and are still in. Yes. Alexis says, when I was in Africa, my stress disappeared. But once I came back to America, the illusion and my anxiety went off the roof. Yeah. Spiritually speaking, I'm just going to be honest. This place is demonic. The powers that be, the system, the way in which we earn wealth, the foundations of this country are evil. And I believe in spirits and the spiritual. And I believe that because of the seeds planted here, we're feeling, the, how can I say, like the effects of their spiritual evil, for lack of better words. So yes, I do believe that America in general, the way that we operate in a very tangible way is very stressful and anxiety inducing. But I also believe it's spiritual. I also believe that there are spirits here in this place that should not be here and that subject other people and oppress other people. Yeah. And take away their joy, all these different things. And these spirits are inhabited by the people who are in leadership. Yes, the spirits inhabit the people in leadership and sway their decisions and their thinking and all these different things. And also by choice, these people do it too. But yeah. And I'm really sorry that you experienced that. And I understand. When I was in Mexico, I was telling Marissa, when I came back into the country, there was this feeling of like such rigidity and like they play this music to make it feel like, oh, this is the best country in the world. You're welcome for being here. You're welcome, peasants. Aren't you happy to be like, it's that air of things. There's something happening here. Yes. And I feel like we all feel it. And I feel like I've been running in circles for years. Yeah. God keeps reminding me that it's all simple and to just be. It's difficult for me to do that with so many negative internal and external messages. Yeah. It's difficult, but we can get there, right? One step at a time, being easy with ourselves, being gentle with ourselves, right? And not judging ourselves for where we're not or where we think we should be. But where we are right now is enough. Even you coming to this realization of this message that God gave you, right? It's simple. That's still something. That's a seed planted. It's not nothing because some people don't even have that message. You know what I'm saying? So it's simple and to just be. That's your message right now, right? Like that's your instructions right now. And you might have to do some practice to put that instruction into a place. So into daily practice, you know? But have grace with yourself because you're doing the best you can. You are. Give yourself grace because you've been here for however many years or wherever you are for how many years. You've been indoctrinated for how many years. It's not an overnight thing. It's going to take time. You know? But this is the first step and it's a big step. Let's see. Sending everyone struggling, peace and love. Yes, praying you find your true self and purest joy. I love that. Y'all are so kind here. Thank y'all for sharing that. Where do I fit in? Where do I fit in? No one claim me, but God claims me. Yes. Yes, and I'm learning to claim me. Same. 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 I love that. I'm learning to claim me. I love that. Let's see. Ooh, Drop Squad is a Spike Lee movie that deprogrammed black men from white supremacy. Thank you for sharing this. I need to look it up. I need to look it up. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Hi, Yvette. It's good to see you. Hey, love, glad I can catch you live. Perfectionism is my cross, but I say it all the time. Perfectionism is not required or requested here. I love that. And you keep saying that until it sits in your bones. Keep saying that. Yes. Okay. Gonna scroll down to what y'all are saying. Sorry, y'all. Y'all are saying a lot of good things. Oh, thank you, Say Love. I appreciate that. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Hi, Josie. Josie and Noma. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing that. Why shouldn't you call it a bucket list? Playlist sounds fun and unique. Okay, so should or shouldn't, that's up to you. I just don't like calling it a bucket list because I don't plan on dying after I do this thing. And I want to add to the list. I want to keep adding things to that list of things to play and try. And then hopefully, you know, the list keeps getting bigger and bigger. But also, if I pass away before I get the thing done, it's not a judgment on myself. If I get up out of here before I get everything on my list finished, it's not a failed life, you know, because I want to live my life with joy every day. Because I don't know how many days I have. I hope I have at least 100 more years. Excuse me. I hope that I have 100 more years, but like, we don't know. You know, so yeah. So it's just taking the pressure off. That's all. Like bucket list just feels so like, this is your bucket list. This is the thing you have to do. And sometimes what is on that list changes. It's like, I really don't want to do that anymore. Let's do something else. It's just, you know, more free flowing to me when I label it a playlist. Yeah. So yeah. Just like, you know, on Spotify, your playlists, you can change your song based on the mood and that kind of stuff. So yeah. Yay. Hi, Dexter. Good morning. Good morning. All right, let's see. Hi, Janine's World. Hello. Hi, Marshana. Yep, I got a lot of stuff to put in my playlist. I'm happy. That makes me happy. Yes, you can be bad at things and still be worthy and loved and valuable and happy and still do the thing and still keep showing up. Oh, thank you, the Extra Crispy Extra Wet podcast. Y'all support Alicia. We have in breakthrough in this. Oh, in here. That makes me happy. Thank you for sharing that. I'm happy. I'm grateful. I really am. I really am. My mom once told me some things shatter, so we can't put them back together. Wisdom, again, because it's time to move on. And that's where the term something has to break comes from. Oh, to get breakthroughs. Woo. I didn't know that. That's awesome. And I love that. Some things have to shatter. Yes. Last year, I put out a video called I'm Letting My Life Fall Apart because some things need to fall apart. Some things just need to fall apart. We're trying so hard to hold it together and like, no, it has to be good. No. And then it breaks and we feel like it's the end of the world. But the whole time, we didn't even want to do this in the first place. We didn't like this. We didn't like how this made us feel. But we were doing it because we feel like we had to do it or we should do it or this is the only thing that we know to do, right? Like, but low key, something inside of us knows that we want something different. And like the shattering of it or the breaking of it or falling apart of it is like the permission slip we've been waiting for. The open door we've been waiting for. I love that. I love that. Okay. Yay. I haven't started it yet. I have not started it. I will though. Actually, did I? I don't think I started it. No, I haven't started it yet. I was reading Bell Hooks' All About Love and there's another book. But I think I was really taken with Audre Lorde's book. I don't even know if I have it down here. It's on my shelf. But Audre Lorde's book lately. So that was a lot. But I'll get to that in a second. Yes. Oh, that means a lot to me. Thank you. Good morning, Level Up Single Mom. Good morning. Which God? My God. I believe in the God of the Bible. I do. I know some people might be about that, but I do. But I also think this is a conversation for another day, but I also think the way that God is represented, the way that people use God, have hijacked God to be oppressive, dismissive, abusive. That's not God. So, but yeah. Oh yeah, afternoon. My bad. It is afternoon. You're right. You're right. Okay, so now I am. Yes, let it fall apart. That's it. Let it fall apart. Black women joy has been so empowering. Yes, it empowers me. Seeing Black women happy makes me happy. It really does. And it's healing. It's healing to me. It's healing to me. Your skin looks really clear. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, girl. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, me too. And I feel like I'm gonna do a whole other live on like the shame in calling myself Christian, because when you say Christian, people automatically think one thing, and it's all the people that are misrepresenting Christianity and God, and it's frustrating because like I don't even have an argument. It's like when people be like Christianity is that, I'm like, you're right. I don't have no, yeah, they are awful. I, I don't have nothing to say, So yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay, awesome. Communion by bell hooks will transform our ideas about being women and existing. I'm excited. I'm excited. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get my guitar. Give me 1 second. Woo. All right. Like I said, it's been a minute since I. Ooh, sorry, y'all. It's been a minute since I played this. I practiced a little bit today, but we gonna see. We gonna see what happens. Excuse me. Oh, somebody's outside walking the dog. Okay. Just get this back. All right. So, like I said, I got small hands. This is not a what do you call it? A warning or anything. This is just like proving my point. I love playing guitar and it makes me happy. I'm actually going to share with you guys the website that I use. It's called tabsultimateguitar.com. I don't know if that means anything to anybody, but here we go. Share screen. Let's see. Share. Hope y'all can see this. Okay. I love when people, okay, somebody's walking a dog, but I love when people sing with headphones on and they don't think anybody can hear them. It's one of my favorite things. Okay, let me zoom in actually. Hopefully y'all can see this. All right, so I'm going to play a song. And here we go. Oh. This chair won't let me be great. Okay. Uh-oh, the dogs are... Are the dogs fighting? Okay. I hope they're okay. I don't know if y'all can hear that. Sorry. Okay. I'm gonna shut the window. Sorry, y'all. It's distracting. And it's scary. Okay. I think one of the dogs, a person was walking a dog and then another dog saw another dog and they started barking at each other. So I don't know. Anyway. Okay, here we go. Take a deep breath. This is your permission to be bad at something because I'm bad at playing guitar. So here we go. Little 5 chords. Ooh, I'm nervous. Here we go. Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when the evening comes, watching the ships roll in. Then I'll watch them roll away again. Sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tides roll away. Ooh, sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. I left my home in Georgia, headed for the Frisco Bay. I had nothing to live for. Look like nothing's gonna come my way. Scroll. So I'm just gonna sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tides roll away. Ooh, sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Look like nothing's gonna change. Everything still remains the same. I can't do what 10 people tell me to do. So I guess I'll remain the same. Sitting here resting my bones, and this loneliness won't leave me alone. 2,000 miles I roam just to make this dock my home. Sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Ooh, sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Yay! Hopefully y'all heard that. Okay. Woo. So that was fun. But yes. Yay. Aw, thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Yes, it's an oldie but goodie. It is. It is. It really is. Aw, thank y'all. I appreciate your yeah, they cutting up. The dogs were cutting up. I don't know what was going on. But someone saying, hey, hey. I was like, oh, let me close my window. Oh, I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you all's kindness. I do. I was nervous. My hands were sweating, slippery. Also, like, it hurts. But anyway, yeah, so that's that, right? Like, excuse me, that's that. I was happy. Again, this is the first time I took out my guitar in over a year. My guitar was out of tune. It was, for some reason, tighter. I don't know that that happens, but either way, it was tighter than loose. Aw, I'm glad that y'all enjoy. Aw, that makes me happy. Yay. Hi, Kid Death. I'm a perfectionist when it comes to my art and starting my business. I still allow myself to experiment and have fun, yes, but I do my research to set things up right. Exactly. A beautiful mix, right? Using other people as inspiration, but also tuning in. Tuning in. Yes, that's actually perfect. Steven Universe is a good example of that. Their imperfect perfection. I love it. I love Steven Universe music. It's so chill and calm. Also, like Adventure Time reminds me of that too. I don't know if y'all watch Adventure Time. Anyway, Adventure Time was a cartoon. They stopped airing it now, but I used to love Adventure Time. And the songs they would play on there would be so imperfect, but it's perfect and it's chill and it feels good. So yes, yes, yes. Oh, formerly known as Yes, I Am Here for the Mess. This name. Oh, happy tears. That makes me happy. Allowing myself to explore different mediums, oil, pastels, acrylic, etc. is how I plan to keep it fun. That's beautiful. I love that. Yes, keep it fun. Keep it fun. Oh, thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. You all are an easy community to be imperfect with. I really appreciate that. Yes. This song is beautiful. Otis Redding sang the song, but he passed away at a very young age, like at 27, I believe, like a 27-year-old thing. But a lot of artists passed away at 27, like Jimi Hendrix, Otis Redding. Either way, like he belongs to that club from Plane Crash. And even though he was 27, he sounded so like soulful. And like his voice is another voice to me that's imperfect. It's rough. It's gritty. It is textured, but it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So yes. Okay. Yay. I'm glad that y'all enjoyed this. Yay. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. I really appreciate you guys. But yes. Okay. So that's all I wanted to say today is to be imperfect and be perfect, knowing that you are imperfect and that you're enough. You are enough. Oh, I'm glad. Thank y'all so much. Oh, thank you, Mika. Sounds like a soundtrack from a nostalgic movie. Ooh, I would love that. Aw, much love to you. Much love to you and to your grandpa. Yeah. When do tickets go on sale? With my guitar, honestly, maybe I will have a section when I go on tour to play my guitar and to play a song imperfectly. But there's just something different that I can get from playing guitar that I can't get with my loop station, right? It's just a different feel, a different texture, and it feels more intimate. Like it feels intimate, and that's why I love playing guitar. So yeah, so I might not become better. I might just stick with my little 5 chords that I know and keep it pushing and keep it moving. But yes, yes. Oh, thank y'all so much. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. This is awesome. Thanks for being vulnerable. You're welcome. Thank you for being honestly lovely and kind and generous so that I can be vulnerable. I appreciate that. Your authenticity shine through. That makes me happy. Yay. Come to a show at City Winery in Atlanta. We can all sell it out. Honestly, that would be dope. That'd be dope. Oh, that makes me happy. That makes me happy. All gummed up inside is a banger. Listen, we got some Adventure Time friends. Adventure Time friends out here. Okay. Singing is always welcome, please. Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Beautiful and really encouraging to play with things. I could just scoop my chair up. I'm like leaning forward. Play with things without wanting to be perfect, but still showing and sharing with people. Yes, yes, because you're worthy. If I can get up here, listen, if I can get up here, I thought about also like having like a drawing segment. I was like, what can I do? Like draw, because I can't draw. I mean, I draw for fun. Would people say that I am a visual artist? Not necessarily. But I would like to draw, and I'm like, I'm not good at drawing. But I'm like, well, why should that stop me from drawing? Because I'm not good at it. If I want to draw, draw. You know. So yeah. So yeah. Cartoon Network. Yes. 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 Stephen and Finn. Yes. 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 Yes, this is actually perfect. Winehouse, excuse me, is a perfect example. Like that grit, that sound, but her voice is so beautiful. Oh, so beautiful. Oh yes, but passed away at 27. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Brooklyn. Ooh, I love loud neighbors. Yes. Just I hope no dogs or people got harmed in the yelling. Yeah. You might like Kif on the Disney Channel. Kif. I might have to look that up. I might have to look that up. She knows the vibes. I love that. I love that. During the summer, yes. Yes. The noise during the summer, yes. Yes. Aw, I appreciate y'all. Will you come to the UK? If the UK will have me, sure. I just gotta get my coins together. But yeah, I would love to. There are some places I want to visit and some places in Europe in general that I want to visit. So yes, one day. One day. I appreciate that. Okay. I appreciate that. Like I said, I'm learning how to say thank you without adding any extra. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I love Adventure Time is even. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Y'all are very kind. Thank you. Oh, it does? Adventure Time comes on Saturday. Okay. I need to look up then. Because I'm like, dang, that was the show. It was Adventure Time. So Steven Universe kind of has the same feel. There is the regular show I used to watch. There are a lot of shows that are just like not playing regularly anymore. But yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. I only know 4 chords. See, listen, and you can make a whole song with that. I have a song that I created on my album Matter, and it's called The Sun Will Rise Again. Literally, it's like 3 chords. It's like three, maybe 4 chords. And even when I recorded that song, I did one string at a time because listen, you get it done how you need to get done. So for some songs that I've done one string at a time, one progression at a time, because I know my strengths and my weaknesses, but I'm not going to let that stop me from creating. So I'm just going to like, who said that I can't play guitar by playing one string at a time and layering it on top of each other? That still counts, you know? So yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I'm a visual artist, and not to sound pretentious, but anything, but anything I pick up, I'm good at something. Oh, but anything, excuse me. That doesn't sound pretentious. That's gifted. That's awesome. But anything I pick up, I'm good at. So sometimes it's hard just to start. Yeah, and I'm only I'm struggling. Forgive me. I'm my only creative friend, so I cry sometimes when I feel neglected. Oh no, I'm sorry. Well, your art is valid, and it's not pretentious at all. It's not. It's not. I really appreciate you, Alicia. When I've been questioning my place as a Black girl, I want you to know that this YouTube platform of yours matters. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And it has touched me in the best way possible. That makes me happy. That makes me happy. Oh, yay. I'm glad. Thank you. Thank you. Like this morning, I was like, I can't neglect my gifts to create. You can't. You can't. I mean, you have the choice to, but I hope that you choose not to. So yes. I stopped drawing when I was dating an art graduate. Ooh, an art graduate years ago. I criticized my art so much that I stopped drawing and painting. I started back drawing. I'm glad. Thank you, Janine. Thank you for coming back. Seriously. Thank you. Thank you. Regular show gave me anxiety. That's fair. They were always getting themselves in trouble. It was a lot going on. It was a lot of noise, a lot of supernatural stuff happening. It was a lot going on. It was a lot. It was a lot. We Bare Bears is cute. It is cute. We Bare Bears is cute. Sometimes I like it. I don't know if I like the baby ones. And I thought I would, but I don't know if I like it. But either way, love Cartoon Network down. Okay, but yes, but I hope that this talk was encouraging you all. I hope that you are inspired to take inspired action, even if it's imperfect, even if nobody else has to see it or approves of it. And I hope that you start to free yourselves from the clutches of perfectionism and that you start seeing yourself as whole, as lovely, as sacred, as important, as perfect, even in all your imperfections. That is the message. I hope that you're going out into the day happy. Oh, there's another one. Sorry, y'all. But yes, happy and joyous and creative and loving of yourself. Yes, regular show. And yes, how could I forgot The Amazing World of Gumball? Yes, The Amazing World of Gumball is another one. Love that show. It has a lot of adult themes in it. But yes, hi Chica. Weaver Bear is definitely cute. It is cute. It is cute. Hi Gnarlzood. Gnarly Zood. Oh, hey. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much for being here. But yes, but I hope that you all enjoy the rest of your day. Again, thank you so much to Say Love and the Extra Crispy, Extra Wet podcast for your support. I really appreciate that. And yes, go love yourselves, go love each other, and I will talk to you all in the next video. Bye, everybody.